Back with me for their first interview since the release of these recordings is Maurice Gordon Jr.'s mother, Raquel Barrett, and the family's attorney, William Wagstaff. Raquel, I am so sorry that you had to see that again. It was important for our viewers to see those final moments, though.
It's just distasteful. It's just difficult to watch. I mean, I expected them to have more remorse towards us as a family, not just send the video out for the general public, but for me as a mom to get closure on his dad as well. My mental health is not doing too good at this moment because my son is not here.
Raquel, Raquel, I want to just give you a moment I know this is very difficult for you, so I just want you to gather your thoughts for a moment. And let me just ask William Wagstaff, the lawyer representing the family. Mr. Wagstaff, can you tell us a little bit about how this played out yesterday, the release of this footage? How was it given to you, and what do you plan on doing next? What are some of the unanswered questions that you have at this moment?
For starters, the way that this was handled was insensitive and it was irresponsible. They initially wanted the family to come and sit with a group of strangers as if this was a movie theater to watch this video, instead of sending it to me as the attorney, which I refused to do because I found that to be extremely unreasonable, that the media can get a copy of the video sent to them electronically. However, the family needs to be corralled in a room with a bunch of strangers to review the last moments of their son, brother, or family member. And I wrote a strong letter to the AG's office and said, that's not the way that we're going to do this. The same way that you would send it to any other media source, send me a link, send me the files, and allow the family to have time to review it, process it, and grieve. They sent me the link, but before the family was able to review it, see the media, because they were planning for the funeral, it's already released to the public. They learned that it's released to the public because they're getting text messages while planning for the funeral from family members telling them that it's on YouTube, no less. So you have millions of people that were able to see Maurice's last moments before his family. And my request that they hold it in writing, I requested, please do not release this to the media until the family gets the opportunity to review it. And I got no response. And after they released it to the media, then I get an email, something to the effect of, oh, because of the public's need to have this information, we're releasing it today, or we released it today. So they put the needs of the public over the needs of this family to grieve. Again, it is irresponsible and it's insensitive, to say the least.
Raquel, I wanted to ask you, if I can, what does justice and accountability look like for you? I mean, what do you want to see happen forward now that we have this information and some of this statement that has come out from the police?
At this point, I think the police need to be charged. I don't think he should be on leave getting paid, because it's just distasteful and everything, you know. I have no words. It's just distasteful.
Mr. Wagstaff, let me pick up on that for a moment, if I can. But what does justice and accountability look like, from your perspective as you continue to push forward for unanswered questions that you may have?
Among all of these videos, what's noticeably absent is the remainder of the video that captures the encounter. So while it appears that to try to placate the public, they sent out what I would call a data dump of a bunch of videos, many of them with glaring omissions and things that are decontextualized, they still have not released a complete video of the encounter. There's still 12 to 13 minutes that's missing. We still have not seen what happens in the moments immediately after he was shot. He was handcuffed. We don't know what communications, if any, he had with other members of the public, other members of the police department. All of that is still unclear. Was he just left there to die on the side of the Garden State Parkway? Was he put in the ambulance? What happened? They still have not released the remainder of that. And what's really startling to me is that watching this video, it is a reminder that the implicit bias in the best case and racism in the worst case is still involved in almost all police interactions with people of color. If Maurice Gordon was white, Maurice Gordon would still be alive. So to answer your question, what justice looks like at this point would have this investigation be done by an independent prosecutor, because I'm still of the opinion that the state police should not be investigated by the state lawyers, and that an independent investigation and the independent prosecutor presenting this case to the grand jury for determination of what criminal acts, if any, were committed is what justice looks like. To me, the use of force was not reasonable, despite what the PBA or anyone else in law enforcement would say. You cannot use deadly force unless there's a justification to use deadly force. I find that extremely convenient that the officer would make this claim that Maurice was reaching for his firearm, but I don't see anywhere on that video evidence that he was reaching for his firearm. He created this. He created this altercation when he engaged him physically. Maurice was looking to leave the vehicle, and he should have allowed him to leave the vehicle. He did not need to engage him with physical force.
All right. Raquel Barrett, I wanted to give you the final word here, because I spoke to you yesterday and I asked you, were you at all concerned about your son living in America in this time? I know that a friend of his called 911 and was concerned about him. Were you at all, did you have any reason? I mean, have you spoken to that friend or any of his friends to understand why they may have been, if they were in fact concerned about him?
No, I haven't spoken to his friend.
And did you have any reason to be concerned about him before this incident?
No, not really. No.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.